I was taught that a ribbon skirt and a ribbon dress, within each ribbon is the prayer for that person and a prayer for the people. Everything about a ribbon dress or a ribbon skirt tells a story. What do we learn from the story, and how does that story protect us? Seattle was the original epicenter of COVID-19. Probably one of the most frightening times I've ever lived through as a public health professional. Here at the Seattle Indian Health Board, we just weren't getting everything that we needed. We had folks sewing fabric masks because we were running so low on PPE for our providers. It was a really scary time, and we were doing everything we could, but it simply wasn't enough because we didn't have what we needed. So we put out a call to our county, our state, and our federal partners, those that are meant to supply community health centers, Indian health services providers with essential PPE. We were really excited when we got what we thought was a box of PPE. Unfortunately, when we opened that box, instead what we found was a box of body bags. These body bags were the perfect metaphor for how Native people have been treated in this country. That they're more willing to let us die and give us what we need to bury our people than they are to find us the things that not only we need, but we have a legal right to ensure that our people not only survive, but thrive. I took a body bag out, and when I folded it in half, I could see the dress that I made before it was actually done. I took some fabric. It is all these woodland flowers all woven together, a connection to the land, a connection to the earth, and to our responsibility to hold on to who we are as traditional people. So that was the very first thing I did, was lay that fabric on the inside of this body bag. The sleeves of the dress were probably one of the hardest things to make. It is the toe tags. If I intertwine these with the ribbon, they actually look like some of the designs and patterns that we would have on our traditional ribbon dresses, and I can reclaim them in this way. And the little string that hangs off that you're supposed to tie on somebody's toe, that can be repurposed and look like the fringe that we might put on a ribbon dress. I picked the color red for all of the stitching, and that's because from my cultural beliefs for the Pawnee people, I was told red is the first color. It's also the color of prayer, the color of strength, and it also is the color of the sacredness of women. And so I sewed those stitches really jagged, and then I purposefully then made them straight to show, yes, we grieve, we mourn, we cry, we sing, we spend time with each other and our families, and we heal, because we need to get back on that path. In the midst of COVID-19, we've seen an 8% increase in domestic violence nationwide. And in a recent survey that my organization did of Native women, we found that 20% of them have seen their safety being threatened as a result of COVID-19 and being quarantined with abusers or being abused in other ways. I wanted to recognize that and also honor those that we've lost as a result of them being murdered and missing. And so I put what the movement has always had, and that is a hand, a red hand. The hand is both one that shows the loss, it shows the prayer, and it shows the strength of our fight. My fingerprints are there on purpose. My handprints are there for my sons if I was to ever go missing or be murdered and my body needed to be identified. Those mirrors, they are deflecting, they are reflecting, and they are a shield. It needs to reflect back to whoever dares send us body bags instead of PPE. It needs to reflect back to them, and it also needs to deflect the terribleness in which Native people have been treated in this country. When I made it originally, it was for healing for me, and then I realized it had the opportunity to be healing for other people. Connecting with my ancestors and my cultural traditions is what allowed me to move forward in not only making the dress, but also allowed me to move forward in being able to be strong in the work that I had to do when I come into the Seattle Indian Health Board every day, ready to fight for our people. We have done some of the most innovative work in the country around not only providing COVID testing, but also now vaccinations. We have not only adapted, we have done it in a way that has allowed our community to thrive despite all of the obstacles of COVID-19. And yet, I still see my people dying around me. And even though we have done a lot with very little, it's not fair, it's not justice, and we still have to wake up every single day and fight. I hope that other Native people, when they see this, know that we don't have to just accept body bags for our people. We only have to accept a world where we are thriving and our communities are ever continuing. That was the hope of our ancestors, and that is what we have the ability to do for the next generations.